Okay, welcome back to New Day right here on TV3. It is time for our health segment. And today we're discussing a very important health matter. It's often not talked about very much because it's deemed quite embarrassing. Flatulence, when you say flatulence, it's actually it sounds quite posh, almost quite sexy. However, another term for it is farting, letting one off. I have with me the Dr. Bote from Ridge Hospital, our resident doctor, who's in the house. He's going to be giving us the medical perspective on farting. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning, madam. How are you?
I'm very fine.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I'm back.
Yeah, good to see you.
Did you miss me?
Very much.
Aww. You know what? I'm actually quite astonished at some facts which I have here, which I'll be sharing with people very, very soon. But, when you think of, flatulence, it's something that most people are usually very embarrassed by. But before we actually do that, we're going to have a bit of a video for you. Take a quick look and then we'll join back with Dr. Bote.
Health Club is brought to you by Lipton Tea, still the world's #1 tea brand, and Baltic Natural Mineral Water.
An occurrence that even allows people to laugh at each other, an experience most often negated amongst people. People even hide to do it because of the various sounds associated with it. Flatulence, a medical term for releasing gas from the digestive system through the anus. It is also commonly known as farting, passing wind, or having gas. It occurs when gas collects inside the digestive system. Is there a message for those who hold it? And why would people even hold it? No matter how light this is, flatulence from all possible research is a need in everyone's life. But as usual, the expert is in the studio to take us through every length and breadth about flatulence.
Okay, welcome back to our health segment right here on New Day on TV3. Now, of course, flatulence or farting is quite embarrassing, but doctors will tell us it's actually quite necessary. I'm not the expert, but Dr. Bote is here and he's going to be telling us more. Dr. Bote, is it, okay to fart on occasion?
It's okay, it's normal. I mean, I think that one of the fathers of medicine once said that, Hippocrates, once said that it's a normal thing for a person to pass gas or pass wind or have flatulence. One Roman emperor also said that every Roman person should be allowed to pass it wherever and whenever. One must feel free to release it. It's a normal part of digestion. I mean, when you eat and things go into your stomach, it has a transit time of about 4 hours in your stomach. It will get digested with certain acids and certain enzymes. It goes into your intestines. There too, other enzymes will be working on your food material that you've eaten. It later gets into the colon. In the colon of the human being, there are what we call some bacteria there that also work on the digested food, and eventually passes out through the anus or into the rectum and then through the anus. During the digestive process, gases may be produced. Mm-hmm. And usually the gases that are produced are either you have carbon dioxide, you have hydrogen, you have oxygen, you have nitrogen, and usually you may have methane. Methane is the one that we use at home, like the LPG thing.
That's what we cook with.
Exactly.
So it's fire.
That's what we say. There's biogas, biogas. Yeah. Wow. So all these things they are gases that we produce, and a lot of these gases actually are odorless. They don't have any smell. So for most of the time, realize that the flatulence or the gas that is passed, most often may not have any smell. So it can be in an environment.
Just an air one.
That's right.
Yes.
So it can be in an environment and people will be releasing it. I mean, as long as it doesn't make any sound and doesn't smell, everybody seems nothing is happening. But an average person may pass about 10 times a day, may release some flatulence or some gas, and it's perfectly normal. Again, we make a lot of noise about it when it comes through the downside. Mm-hmm. But then it also comes up to the top.
Yeah, is that burping?
We call it burping. Okay. I'm burping and belching. But what happens? It's basically because as I'm speaking and breathing, I'm also swallowing air. As I'm chewing gum, I'm swallowing air. As you're eating, you're swallowing air. So it shouldn't be, it therefore would not come as a surprise that usually at the time you're eating, sometimes you burp. After eating, sometimes you burp. Because whilst you're doing that, you're taking some gas into your system. And if it hasn't gotten the opportunity to pass from the stomach into the lower intestines, then it has to find its way up to the upper opening. And that's what we call burping. And you realize also that even with the burping, sometimes when I belch or when I burp, it sounds like, it smells like rotten egg.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
So what I'm saying that what passes down there can also come up there.
Ew!
Yeah, so that's flatulence for you.
So if it doesn't come out this way, it can travel up?
It can travel up, especially if it hasn't gone below the upper third of the intestinal tract. So it can go down. Now, the flatulence, or this gas that transits through the intestine, sometimes can cause some discomfort to people, because as it goes to the intestines all the way, it passes into the colon. The colon would first come up, and then up transverse colon, and then down here. So there are times that some of these gases may as they pass through the tract, they may cause pain, they may cause discomfort. So somebody may have the gas having transited and reached somewhere around the left side of your chest, just below the heart. So those that may cause pain may the person feel that I'm having a heart problem, or if it's somewhere here under the right
trapped
side,
wind.
Trapped wind, right?
Trapped wind, yes.
Trapped wind. You may think that you're having some gallstone pain or something. So depending on how it is, it may give certain symptoms, but often than not, they may pass without any problem. Okay. And I'm sure we'll look at some of the reasons why people may have more of this flatulence than others, and why some may smell and others may not smell. So basically that's it.
Now, I just want to inform our public what a typical flatulence or fart is made out of. So it's typically it's composed of 59% nitrogen, 21% hydrogen, 9% carbon dioxide, 7% methane, and 4% oxygen. Only 1% of a fart contains hydrogen sulfide gas, and mercaptans, okay, I hope I got that right, which contains sulfur, and sulfur is what makes a fart stink. So if it's only what less than 1%, usually when somebody has a really bad fart and it really smells, is there any kind of correlation, like the worse your fart smells, the more maybe unhealthy you are? Like, Benny says his one smells like roses, my one smells like strawberries. So does that mean we're healthy people?
Interesting. The smell really may not have anything to do whether you are healthy or not. As we're saying, it's a matter of the products that are produced from the digestion of your food. Now, with the gases you have mentioned so far, they are carbon dioxide, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and methane. They are colorless, they are odorless. Okay, but sometimes because of certain foods you are eating,
like beans and eggs,
legumes, eggs, they may have other bad products that may not contain maybe sulfur. The digestive product may contain sulfur, and so when the hydrogen in the normal flatulence you have mixes with the sulfur that is being produced from the legumes, then the product that comes out is going to smell really bad. So apart from the sulfur, there are other substances that also, as you say, mercaptans or some indoles and surcaptols may also contain some sulfur. So it's basically sulfur. And anybody who has done chemistry will tell you that whenever you're in a lab and you mix iron sulfide with hydrogen chloride, it produces a very bad smell. It's hydrogen sulfide, H2S, for those who are science biased, H2S, and it smells that bad. So it's basically because of that. It really got nothing to do whether you are healthy or not. The smell is not got to do whether you are healthy or not. What may be what may maybe shift my thinking to whether you are ill or not would be how frequent it is, and
that's
and
where I was
whether you have
to.
Constipation with it or something. Because when you are constipated, what it means is that there will be a longer transit time for the products to leave your system. And as I said, in the large intestine or the colon, there are bacteria there. So it means that the bacteria have more time to work on the material or the digested food. In other words, the food stays there and gets fermented within that long time. So the longer it takes you to pass stools, that means that staying in the intestine for too long, then bacteria are working, and no bacteria can cause fermentation.
Yes.
So it gets it fermented, and then when you pass it, it's that bad.
It's killer.
Yeah.
My father calls it. This is pollution.
I think the one that sometimes disgraces the chiefs. They are talking in public before long.
Wow. Let me say this: is there a healthy amount? If we were to put a number on it in a day, if you let off wind, or to be nice about it, once a day, is it okay? Is it 10 times a day, or can you do it too much? Because listen, I've been around some people that can go the whole day and is rotten. You know who you are, anyway. But like, is that too much? Can you fluctuate too much?
I think if it's not enough, you should be worried, and if it's too much, you should be worried. I don't think anybody should...
Give me a number, Doc.
Yeah, at least 10 times a day is okay.
10 times a day?
Yes. If you should only go once a day, there's a problem. Either you have a problem with constipation, or you may have a medical condition like malabsorption. You're having malabsorption problem, and therefore things are not transiting well through, and therefore you are not producing enough gas. So less of it is a problem. Too much of it may also be a problem.
Some people claim they don't do it. Some people, will swear blindly. Me, I don't do it.
You cannot.
Some people say
you cannot be a living person. Then the person is probably dead. Okay. Because if you go to the hospital, if anybody has done abdominal surgery, right? If after having done an abdominal, even if it's cesarean section or any other abdominal surgery that you do and you're on the ward, when the doctors come around, one of the things they will ask you, have you been able to pass wind?
That's true.
That is a good indication to tell us that the intestines are free. Like you still can pass, you can pass wind, and therefore you are not having anything like intestinal obstruction. If you've had surgery and you are not passing wind, that means that possibly there may be intestinal obstruction, and we have what we call total intestinal obstruction and partial intestinal obstruction. So somebody may have maybe having obstruction of the intestines, but if we ask you and you say that, I'm not able to pass stools, yet I'm able to pass wind, it's okay, then it's partial. At least there's some space for something to pass. But if you are having a situation where I'm not able to pass stools, I'm not able to pass wind, then that is a big problem. That means that you have probably a complete intestinal obstruction for which surgery may be indicated, or some other methods of intervention may be needed. So if you are not passing wind, you are not normal. You should be worried. You should pass.
Okay, I'm sure there's people who are watching right now who, at least we're getting educated about the fact that it's actually pretty normal. But when should I get worried? Is there a part of if someone's watching right now and think, this one, maybe I do it too much? Is that also cause for concern? If it's like you're doing over 100 times a day, is that cause for concern, or that's quite healthy as well?
Yes, if you are doing overdoing it, it's a cause for concern. It's possibly that you may be having malabsorption, or you may be having some form of obstruction. So for older people, maybe some colonic tumors may be blocking the passage of wind. Have you noticed that sometimes when you feel like passing stools and you don't? You keep it. You realize that you pass wind more.
Yeah, and it's also frustrating.
As soon as you pass the stools, the wind also stops. So when you are not, and you're passing too many times, it's possible some things of obstruction. People may have other things like irritable bowel syndrome. Somebody may have things like Crohn's disease, etc. All these things may be associated with overpassing of wind. So too much of it is a cause for concern. You need to talk to probably your doctor, or sometimes your dietitian. Find out what you are eating, the contents of what you are eating. So if you are not doing too well with milk, probably the person may be lactose intolerant, or you have a deficiency of an enzyme we call lactase that digest milk, the lactose in milk. So if you are probably deficient in that, then maybe your dietitian will tell you, hold on with this one, or change the diet, have a diet journal, have a food journal to know the things that when you take, you seem to pass the gas excessively. If you've done all that and it's still persistent, then probably some scoping will be done. Looking through your intestine and see if there's anything obstructing anything anywhere. So too much of it should be of concern, and less of it should also be of concern.
Okay, is there something that I can take, whether it's a natural remedy or medicine, that will make my fart smell sweet?
As to smelling sweet, you can't do much about it. As I said, most of it shouldn't smell actually. But if you are eating beans and you're eating a lot of beans, I mean,
and
not
eggs,
saying don't eat beans,
milk. I know there's
some legumes, and maybe some carbohydrates that contain lactose. Those things may change the smell of it. But to take anything to make it smell sweeter, no.
Someone told me peppermint oil, natural peppermint oil, is actually, if you have a really smelly fart and you mix it in water and you drink it, is a natural health remedy, and it actually takes the smell away.
Wow, I didn't know that. But if that's what the person says and he's tried and tested, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But for those who are having excessive amounts of it, sometimes we have over-the-counter medications like this and some of the antacids, especially those ones that contain what we call simeticone. It contains simeticone that helps with the gas production. And for bad cases, for bad situations, there's what we call the activated charcoal. Not the charcoal we use at home.
Yes, charcoal tablets, yeah.
Charcoal tablets.
I bought some before in a health shop.
Yeah. So that one also helps absorb some of the gases and then bring it out through the intestine without causing any poo like sounds like that. And the sound is because of the anal sphincters. When they come in with force and then the anal sphincters slap themselves together, or maybe when it's coming your bum, the two buttocks are too close that when you find a way of passing, and if you have to pass through that narrow and then make some so then you go to the mata pwe, mata twe, and then mata fush. I mean, all those things are. Okay. But it makes life interesting.
All right, almost out of time, but the sound of it, because some of them, they always say like the loud ones are usually the ones that don't smell, and then the silent killers. There's a different sound mean, different I guess health issues in terms of what's happening in your colon. No,
really. I think it all depends on how much have accumulated and what force it is coming out with. And then there are sphincters at the anus and how to open and then close. So there is a slapping of the
anus.
Yes, of the anus. That there's a loud sound. And some say that the ones that don't sound are the most smelly.
Killers.
There's a joke that somebody went into a church and they were having a competition about this one, and people were making loud sounds and the carpet was just tearing off, and they say, yeah. Then this guy went into the church. He didn't make any sound. He just stood there, and there was this cross of Jesus in the church room, and just stood there. And before long, they said the hand of Jesus just did this.
Oh,
so that means that his silent fart was enough to make the hand of Jesus do that. So that the silent ones are the
killers. Oh, okay. We're out of time on this, Dr. Boateng. But thank you for this education. So should we encourage the nation of Ghana to feel free, but just don't inconvenience other people.
That's
do
right.
it alone in your bedroom.
When I'm alone, I just do it out. When I'm alone, I do it out.
Have you done it today?
I just do it loud enough.
Have you done it today?
Today, yes. Right in my car.
In fact, I'm a lady, and ladies don't do that, do we? Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere.
My smells cappuccino.
His one smells like cappuccino. I've got roses. Okay, Benny's got roses. I've got strawberries. All right, we'll be back very soon on New Day. Don't go anywhere.